Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. In this video I'm going to share with you 3 hacks which will immediately begin to improve your life, as they have mine. If you practice these things regularly and consistently, you'll see your life improve in ways you wouldn't have dreamt of. The world bombards us these days with ways to make us feel better, if you like, to flood our minds with dopamine. It's much easier and quicker to find these ways, the shortcuts to these ways, through sugar, alcohol, drugs, and other means, social media, all of these things. Addiction and depression and anxiety are through the roof. They're epidemic wherever you go in the world. I've suffered over the last 35 years through all this stuff, and over the last 5 years I've documented on this channel my journey, good and bad, my experiences, to the point I've got to today where I feel a calm and a peace and a serenity that I've never felt before. It's not just about the money or the material things, because I haven't got much of either of those things. It's not about that, although your finances will obviously improve along the way when you're able to cope with life in a much better way and live life on life's terms. But these 3 things I'm going to share with you now that I do on a regular basis will improve your life if you're consistent. The good thing is about the brain is something called neuroplasticity, which you may or may not heard of. The brain miraculously can rewire its pathways. It's like when you create a habit over 30 days. That's what it normally takes to create a habit which will stick with you. What's happening there, if you're practicing this thing on a daily basis, is the brain is rewiring its neural pathways. And this is neuroplasticity, if you like. So that behavior then becomes habitual. And this is half the battle when you're going up against all of these things. So the first hack, if you like, is stop negotiating with your brain. The brain is hardwired to make us feel comfortable. It doesn't want to feel discomfort, pain, or all of these things. It's there to protect us in that way. So any change in your life, however small it is, involves discomfort of some sort. There's no doubt about that. And maintaining a habit. Let's just talk simply about weight loss, for example, a simple one. Avoiding sugary food and getting that dopamine and feeling of comfort and escape from food. If you're passing a bakery shop and you smell that bread baking and that sugary food baking, your brain will try everything in its power to try and get you to sample the wares, if you like, of that shop. And you'll begin a negotiation with your brain. And the brain, 9 times out of 10, will always win. The brain will tell you things like, well, if you have that today, you can have a day off tomorrow. If you have a drink today or a few drinks today, you can cut down tomorrow. You can do it tomorrow. If you don't exercise today and just do this today and take care and relax, you won't have to do it tomorrow. And the negotiation starts, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? And 9 times out of 10, you'll convince yourself that you shouldn't, because your brain will want to take the easy route out. It'll have won that negotiation. So the first thing you do is become the watcher of your thoughts, and you just shut the brain down as soon as it starts talking. Shut up. You just tell it to shut up. And it takes some doing, but when you recognise these thoughts for what they are, just the brain wanting to make you feel comfortable, when you know you need the discipline, means that you need to step out that comfort zone to where you need to go to make progress and to keep moving forward in your life and to get stronger, then stop negotiating. Number 2, gratitude. Before you switch off, gratitude's harped on about a lot, but what actually does it mean? Because there's been times in my life, and I know 5 years ago, if you'd have told me to write one thing I was grateful for down, I'd have said to you, I'm not grateful for anything. I'm in a pit of despair and depression. I'm in the middle of an addiction to opiates and alcohol. I just want to die. And this is the thoughts that were going round and round in my brain. But I promise you, again via neuroplasticity, if you just begin by writing 3 things every morning when you wake up that you're grateful for. And this is not what you want in your life, it's what you currently have in your life. Now, if you've woken up and you're alive and you've got food in the fridge, running water in a tap, you've got some clean clothes to put on, and your family's okay, and all the rest of it, then you've got a million things to be grateful for. So write those 3 things down. I promise you, within 2 or 3 weeks, you won't be able to stop writing. This reprograms your brain, flips it over to begin to see the positivity. Instead of seeing a field of weeds, you'll begin to see a field of wildflowers. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Make gratitude a daily part of your life. And number 3, this is a really important one. If you're suffering from anything, whether it's addiction, whether it's overeating and you want to lose weight, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever you're suffering with, I've spent a fortune over the years talking to counsellors, psychiatrists, psychologists, hypnotherapists. I wish I had £1 for every time I'd even gone to these places. And yet, the cure for all of this was in front of me all of the time. That's finding your peer group and talking. It's okay to talk. Now, it doesn't matter who you are. It's a great strength to talk. And I'll tell you what, to talk to someone who understands your journey, understands your thought processes, understands where you're coming from, understands your sickness, as it were, is the greatest relief in the world. And not just one way. When they talk, you listen and learn. You're learning all the time. You have an outlet and it's there for nothing. So whatever your problem is, find your tribe, find your peer group. Now that might be AA, it might be CA, it might be NA, it might be, if you don't like any of that, it might be Smart Recovery, it might be groups online, it might be friends or relatives who've been through the same things. It might be a group like Andy's Man Club in the UK, which is just for men who avoid suicide. It's massive. All this peer group discussion now is the best way forward, I promise you. It will change your life as it has mine. It's certainly saved my life. So those 3 things, if you're doing them consistently and you're showing some self-discipline doing them, even when you don't feel like doing them, do them. I promise you your life will begin to improve. And if you want to find out other things about my journey, please subscribe, like and share the videos. Thank you for listening. Carpe Diem is the motto of this channel. That means seize the day today. Much love to you all. Stay strong.